existing and getting punished for it.
Yeah, well, it looks like Vitality and Syndicate are both deciding to play around bioweapons here. And obviously this being my pick on the screen, Stuo going down is concerning. He will obviously redeploy in quickly, and they're also going to be contested here by Al-Ula. So this is going to be a busy spot. We talked about how this region is very good for landing because you're protected essentially from one side by the edge of the map. But it looks like there's going to be some hotly contested fights as Tommy cleans up another kill.
You can see kind of how Tommy's team has spread out around this edge of the map. They're playing trades, they're playing angles, but not all stacked together. It's going to be a key to your success today. Trios, first time we've seen it. Linen goes down, it's all okay, it's resurgence, unless Juki falls, and unless potentially Tommy falls. Where is he? Is he out of the map? Is he gone? Squad 2 is out with 2 kills. Al-Ula eliminated from the competition in the very first map. That's what happens when you stay too close together. They were trying to play trades, but when one fell, they all fell.
It's just the worst case scenario, right? This early on in the game, the time is quite slow, so we're not expecting that anchor to peel off. We're not expecting him to be too far away from the gunfights, but if all 3 of you drop at the exact same time, that window is small, but it does indeed exist. And you will see Al-Ula out early here. A surprise. Talked a lot about whether or not those 3 can fix the issues that Jukies and Lennon have seen so far through this year. And it looks like we are off to a slow start here in map 1.
The quick shout reminder, no more solos, it's trios, which means we have resurgence timers, but if all 3 go down and you're all dead at the same time, you are eliminated from the map. No gulag. Skullface falling at the hands of Raul. Allman able to answer back and knock 1. That's Destroyed going down. First map, by the way, of Resurgence for Destroy here on main stage in this entire competition. See if he's got what it takes to compete against the best. I can only assume he does.
Very good play there by Allman. You saw Skullface go down, had about a 12-second resurgence timer. Noob then loses his shields as well. So you end up in a situation where Allman's essentially thinking, okay, we've got one guy out, one guy in trouble. Let's just peel away. Perfect anchor play. Lets his team reset and build back into this. And a team that definitely needs to reset and build back into this is Huskers, Brolic, and Jackal, especially Huskers, who's been struggling throughout this.
Shifty falling, by the way, in that kill feed. Great swap here to see Hisoka playing anchor. Now, this is what I'm talking about an anchor. Look how far away Hisoka is right now. He is letting the boys out on the longest leash known to man, outside of the circle, all by himself in Stronghold, just hanging out and giving comms to Biffle. Look at where Biffle is, off into the distance, fighting several teams. That's Castillo, that's Deo Samir, that's AG Global right there down below him as he plays the top angle of this building, looking over, getting the comms from Hisoka from afar. This is what we talk about, holding the team down. If Biffle and Shifty fall, like you just saw a minute ago, all is well, because the resurgence timer is still on and Hisoka is alive.
Yeah, and taking a quick look here at the rest of the map that has a couple of players peeled off, a couple of players also trying to execute the same strategy, but it's tough if you're Biffle because obviously you're by yourself. You're essentially running into maybe duos, potentially trios with some of these squads in particular. You're seeing AG Global right up close to them as well as Twisted Minds.
Yeah, Aydan in trouble, eliminated. The team backing off. You can see Team 3 in the minimap backing off away from this AG Global squad. That's Twisted Minds, top of solos, looking to find some success today after a small break. They're back on the map, ready to fry. 1 player down, that timer ticking. There are so many ways to reduce that timer, Enigma. Just running long distances can reduce it. Opening chests can reduce it. Getting eliminations reduces it vastly. Any way you can get your teammate back on the map quickly is a huge boon.
Yes, indeed. By the way, we've got more competition coming in. The Falcons trio are deciding to push up on this, so we're going to have the Falcons, Twisted Minds, and AG Global all fighting over Factory.
Dongy's team, a team to watch out for. The Singapore squad, this is a really strong team. The big question in our minds is, could they put it all together with this X factor that is Dongy? Believe they've played with Mutex a long time, and adding Dongy into the mix, it looks like they're using him as the Slayer. 5 kills already as the Resurgence timer is still active, ready to go for a good circle or so.
Just lying in wait and find both players springing up above him. Does manage to get a crack, but it's not going to be enough. Dongy pushes himself to 6. I mentioned it a moment ago. He was the player that comes into this trio. And look at the kind of damage he's already delivering on. Up to 7. The best we've seen on our screen so far.
Look how far away Intex is. All the way across on the other side of the map. They're completely split from west to east on Rebirth Island. And Dongy is cleaning house. He looked locked in the interview with Chris Puckett at his monitor. Hardly looking away, wanting to play, but a great personality, and the slaying power equals his personality as he finds his 9th in the first map of group stages. I don't think Dongy can be iced, even if we tried.
And the thing is as well, 9 with 34 still remaining is absolutely outrageous stuff. It is a pace that we're not seeing elsewhere. This is another player that's a potential X factor when it comes to these squads, right? How is Knight going to perform? We're expecting them to largely try and help this side understand Resurgence better. Not necessarily slay out the same way we're expecting with Dongy, but Knight struggled yesterday, but a man who did not was Smith, and he finds yet another.
Yeah, this BSL team is this huge underdog squad representing themselves. They've got their team as the 3 different iterations, almost an acronym that they've put together for their team squad. Getting wiped by Smith, still have a lot to prove here on main stage. We talked about ultimate high ground. This is super important, especially as the resurgence timer begins to tick down. We've got Raul, we've got Nate Dogg, Destroy. Nate Dogg playing high ground. He's the anchor as Destroy and Raul are pushing up on what looks like that Wars team. That's the guild squad we've got all of our eyes on, waiting, watching below. Nate Dogg giving comms and seemingly safe, at least for now.
Gunnas decides to push here. Will find Believe. Will get the down. Oh, misses the shot, actually. Does not want to make a mess of that. Will eventually clean it up, but the thing is that extra time that's spent means that his opposing teammate can push on up in Tex and Believe just above him here. Lucanas going to have to be very careful. Is onto 4 kills, but doesn't necessarily have the backup from Drake, who's off in towards the center of the map. Mortar comes on down, Dongy up above, and this is the man who's slaying thus far.
Yeah, we saw the Gladiators around the corner as well. You can see that Team 4, that's going to be your Gladiator squad. Huskers on the water tower. You can see Noobs actually taking out Brolic in the kill feed, so that Husker squad relying on Huskers to stay alive as Jackal answers back and takes down Noobs off screen. You can see how split that Team 4 is in that X-ray cam looking through our buildings. Huskers way up in the water tower. Very similar strat to that Destroy team, by the way, as we see the zone tick closer and closer to the center of the map. Now, quick look here. We're in circle 3. A minute 8 remaining is when it begins to close. Once that circle fully closes, Enigma, we know what happens. This entire map goes silent for a moment as that resurgence timer will end.
Well, that's exactly it, right? This is all the teams right now are simply playing to try and rack up some kills, and Destroy's not having a bad one for his first map, right? Up to 7. We'll play the prison rooftop with coverage from Nate Dogg, and then he's actually going to get support from his teammate as well, and finds Bagel on the water tower, and just continues to roll. We were wondering how he would perform after missing yesterday. He's not having any problems, Coach.
This is what we're talking about. Ultimate high ground, not necessarily for kills, but information gathering. Let your Slayers out on a long leash. Let them go rain in as many kills as they can get until this timer is done, and you are the information man. You are the one feeding your team all the resources they need to find success. We talked about this during solos, even more important during the group stages. Watch that bottom right-hand corner of your screen when we're in player POVs, because you will see whether or not these players have loadout. That will dictate how aggressive they're playing. You need loadout weapons. Look at this. Destroy. Bottom right corner. You see all those attachments. He's got loadout. He's got his resources. He's ready to rock and roll. He's got the meta, and that Superi seemingly in everyone's hands.
Yeah, and we talk as well about meta. Superi, sure, but that SVA on tap fire, it's been putting in work throughout this year. We're going to move on over to Castillo. Has absolutely nothing. Can AG Global step up from the performances of yesterday? Well, so far, Castillo has not had much luck. Does indeed actually get to see Shifty and Knight start to pick up kills in the feed, and that's all going to be Gladiators struggling in those ones.
Yeah, Shifty and Knight finding some success, but unfortunately getting third party. This is what happens. Again, signal flares in the skies every time you shoot your guns. And who's there? Bagel. Not on 0, as Puckett maybe predicted on 1, as we see a couple more teams falling in the kill feed. Actually, our second, now third. Aydan, C-Smith, off screen, fully eliminated. Twisted Minds, top of the leaderboard, out of here. See you later. See you in map 2 here shortly. How many kills did they get? Only time will tell. Castillo out of here, Dark out of here. All of a sudden, times are changing. Resurgence timer not even closed yet, just right around the corner from that Enigma. This is chaos as the teams continue to converge on each other, and now our respawn closed.
Just getting a quick look here over some of the figures that we've got going on. The Singapore Syndicate leading the way with 20 kills. That's obviously all the work that's going on by Dongy. 14 kills for Team Destroy, and Icons closing in on 11 as we come towards the end of our Resurgence timer.
I'm looking at Team 7, team of the yellow 7. That's Aydan's team in a really good position on the thin side of prison. They're holding down this POI. 2 teams going to rotate into them weak. Reminder, respawn closed means, yes, you can buy your teammates back, but if you fall, you get eliminated eliminated, you're not coming back, as all of a sudden Lucanus' squad on the run.
Everything you've played for up to this point, all the kills you've accumulated, give you whether or not you have the advantage of playing for position, or whether or not you have to continue to take rotational fights. And right now, Lucanus and co in a tough spot, takes balls in the back, but spins onto tfue. That was a disgusting little snap, but Patsuka will actually trade it out by picking up Trevs. Lucanus trying to escape and being hunted by the Australians of Na'Vi.
Here comes Na'Vi, folks, hunting the edge, power position, full team of 3. Lucanus on 7, putting in work for this squad, but now on the run and being hunted like a wounded animal. See you later, Lucanus, out of here, top 10. Now, multipliers starting to come into play, folks. Multipliers are different this time around. You're looking top 5 is 1.4, fourth 1.4, third 1.4. It is second that is the 1.7 times multiplier. These are crucial numbers to remember, a little bit different than yesterday in solos. And of course, our 2 times multiplier for our winning squad. Look who's still alive, folks. The crowd excited about this one. Falcons, they are still flying and they fly together now that the resurgence timer has officially closed, hunting edge of map, working towards prison.
Yeah, currently holding 10 kills between them, and they're pushing up on the Gladiators, but Brolic spots them. Jackal gets over aggressive, and Shifty will find him. Takes a lot of damage, has to back on off, but does have coverage. Soka wants to push up on this, but you are in the gas. You just want to play around the edge of it, but Destroy has picked up Shifty from the window, and all of a sudden splits this trio apart.
Quick buyback, that is something the Falcons are known for. They always play around buy stations. They always rotate for the buys. They know there's a buy there on the outside of prison. They get the buyback immediately. Shifty's able to get information. As long as he doesn't get sniped out of the air, that Falcons team's still going to be feeling good, but it's still Na'Vi hunting edge of zone. It's still Na'Vi with a ton of kills. Inside the top 10 still, but we're looking for top 8 to just give you any multiplier. 8th place gives you that 1.2x, all right? So a lot of multipliers still to be played for. A lot more resurgence, a lot more Rebirth Island still to be seen.
Na'Vi here, just going to push up, try and play this under passage, potentially find themselves a safer route around the back of prison. The thing is, any movement that you try and make from here, you are essentially in open ground. You've got to hope the circle pulse to give you even half a chance. Finds Patsuka, Levi here, looking to wrap this, but the gas is going to force him to back on off, and may have to reset their strategy as well. Gas mask ticking down, but they do get the zone pull. So teams on top of prison are going to have to dive here. The Australians in prime position, and here come the boys. And oh my, Levi loses that fight.
Oh my goodness, there are fights happening everywhere. One team holding zone, one team predicted it would go prison and were wrong and were punished for it. Out of here, 5 teams left. You see a full Fnatic squad alive and on the run on edge of zone. Will they be held by Raul, Destroy, Liam, Bagel, all fighting for position? Navi's out of here, they're gone. Limax fighting Destroy, does take him out, and that is a squad wipe. Where are they?
Well, Skullface is tucked into very small, confined space here with Noobs and Almond. Any smoke comes in there, you're in trouble. Any gunfire going out the other way, those beneficials. Noobs finds Mati. Skullface cleans up Rodrigo. They are completely out of here. Skullface just looking to assess the situation. You're up against 2 other players, but that's actually going to be Skullface, Almond, and Noobs out of here as we're down to our final 2.
BSL. Everyone discounted them. No one had them on top lists. No one had them in predictions. Everybody just thought, these guys are funny. They're pretty good at the game. We need to see them perform. And tfue doesn't even fight at the end. Gives away his life, not wanting to give away free points. That is a BSL victory for the very first map of group stages. In the Esports World Cup Enigma, nothing is given, everything is earned, and BSL certainly earned a ton of points in the first map.
Look, quite frankly, the storyline, you touched on it there towards the end, is whether or not we should be putting a little bit more respect on this BSL side. They came 8th for the World Series last year with Benzi. No one even expected them to qualify, let alone be Europe's 2nd best performing team on the day. So then to see them come into the Esports World Cup, I think a lot of people kind of turned around and went, well, they're here, you know, whatever, we don't really care about them. Not been a part of the conversation. Did not perform well yesterday in the solos, but for all the discussion around them being funny and how they describe their roles in ridiculous ways, it works when they come together as a trio.
And they come together as a trio because of the trust they have. They make fun of each other. They have a good time doing it. Every conversation we've had with them was this. We asked them their drop spots. We asked them their strats, and they said, we just listen.